Welcome, everybody, for now session. I would like to introduce and welcome Dumbari Zabbey. He is passionate advocate for youth empowerment, global collaboration, and quality education. With a Bachelor of Science in Psychology, Zabbey has made significant strides in leadership roles, including serving as the curator for the Global Shapers Calabar Hub and as the Minister of Global Affairs for the African Union Students Platform. Dumbari, welcome, and the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Priscilla. I'm so delighted to be here, and it's an opportunity for me to share some knowledge across. Please confirm if you can hear me. Hello, Priscilla. Can you hear me? Hello, Priscilla. Can you hear me? All right. So, good afternoon, everyone. Depending on the time where you are, good morning, good evening. Currently, I'm in Ethiopia. I came in yesterday to Ethiopia from Nigeria. So, for those in Ethiopia joining us, well done. Thank you for joining, and everyone. Please, can I have my slide? Welcome, Oluwa Damilola, Ayo, and Koichi Duran. Welcome. All right. So, it's an opportunity to be sharing with every one of us today on transforming education through digital literacy. And my name is Dumbari Zabbey, and I happen to be the vice curator of the Global Shepherds Community Calabar Hub. It's an initiative of the World Economic Forum that empowers young people and gives them the chance to contribute their quotas to policy making and decision making. So it's an opportunity to be here. Thank you so much for joining. Next slides, please. Hello, Priscilla. Can you hear me? Can I have the next slide? All right. I'm sorry for that little technical problem. All right. So the objectives for my discussion today will be one to explore the transformative role of digital literacy in Nigeria. Two, to highlight case studies and best practices to demonstrate successful integration of digital literacy in education systems. Three, to provide actionable policy recommendations to help educators and administrators bridge digital literacy gaps and promote equitable skill-based learning. Now, before I dive into my discussion, Can you share on the chat what you understand by digital literacy, what you've heard about digital literacy? I want the session to be interactional, so you could help and interact. What do you know about digital literacy? All right, while you're doing that, just for us to save time. Okay. Yes, that's why this topic is there today, so we could have a broader knowledge about what it is. So, according to the American Library Association, digital literacy is the ability to use information. Oh, that's great. Knowing how to use online platforms for research and education. That's nice. That's nice. Amazing. There are many organizations and schools investing in digital literacy. I support them daily by matching them with tech companies that could build. Awesome. That's nice. That's nice. Awesome. So, according to American Library Association, digital literacy is the ability to use information and communication technologies to find, evaluate, create, and communicate information, requiring both cognitive and technical skills. Now, there are three components based on that definition that we are going to highlight. One is basic digital skills. For you to be digitally literate, you have to understand basic digital skills. And the European Commission explained basic digital skills to be competence in device handling and fundamental applications. Competence in device handling and fundamental applications. Um, it will amaze you to know that a lot of people only know how to make calls with their devices. Um, they do not know what an email is. They've never used Gmail before. They can't open Gmail account. That is just one of many applications that you need to have an understanding of. Yes. So number two, media literacy. According to UNESCO, media literacy means critical understanding of digital media sources and content creation. In our world today, there are thousands of people who are doing content without basic understanding of the media, without knowing what the media entails, without understanding the form they are doing. Okay, so the second component of digital literacy is being able to have media literacy, which means critical understanding of digital media sources and content. So you have to understand if you're making research online, how do you locate the right source? How do you understand your digital media? The Facebook, the Telegram, and all of that. How do you understand those systems? So it is very important that we have an understanding of that. And number three, security and safety. According to World Wide Web, cybersecurity was in Switzerland. That was around July. Yeah, that was in July. Fraudster and should I say an hacker. And what was the objective? Just the security and safety. So based on my definition, these components are what makes you a a digital literate person. Oh, so sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Indicate if you can hear me clearly now. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry for digital literacy. And I said number one is basic digital skills. That you must have an idea, you must have knowledge of basic digital skills. And according to the European Commission, hello, can you hear me? Oh my God, the network logged me out. Okay, thank you so much. Uh, all right, so I'm really sorry for that. The hotel where I am making this presentation, the network isn't very strong, and I'm sorry that it's happening now. All right, so I was explaining the key components of digital literacy based on the definition we had, and I said one is basic digital skills, and according to European Commission, um, all right, according to European Commission, basic digital skills competent it refers to competence in device handling and fundamental applications. And the second component is media literacy, and of the media sources and content. And I was explaining all right, all right. So a lot of people today are into content writing without understanding the principles, without understanding the foundation of how they should, the guidance on how they should go about it. So for you to be a digitally literate individual, you have to understand media literacy. You have to know the sources of information because there are lots of false information on the internet. So how do you access the right one? Is by understanding, you know, and having media literacy. And the third one is security and safety. World Economic Forum explained it to be knowledge of privacy, cybersecurity, and safe online practices. And I made an example that in July, when I was in Switzerland, my WhatsApp was being hacked, you know, and um, um, they wanted to penetrate through my contacts and extort people. Okay, so you have to be very security conscious because of the high level of cyber insecurity in the world today. So, why digital literacy is essential in education? Why is it essential? One, because it has an impact on learning outcome. The more digitally literate we are, the better we learn. For instance, AI today. AI, it's a platform that aids learning because there are lots of learning impairments. There are people who can hear, but they're in the classroom. While the teacher is teaching, they cannot hear what the teacher is saying. Or there are people who are blind. So digital literacy enables us to, you know, and it impacts the learning outcome of education. So here, the studies show that digital literacy skills improve engagement, critical thinking, and problem solving abilities among students globally. So when you understand how to use some digital tools, it creates an environment where students would have to think, students would have to engage and solve critical problems. Global skills gap. World Economic Forum projects that 65% of children entering primary school today will work in jobs that do not currently exist, underscoring the need for digital skills. You see, it is important because the world is evolving, the nature of jobs are changing. So, if we do not start early to integrate digital literacy into education, there will be lots of gaps. There will be lots of gaps in the system. So thereby, it is important that it is essential that digital literacy is integrated in education. And number three, equity and access. Digital literacy is crucial for closing educational and opportunity gaps, especially in low resource settings. For instance, those in Africa, they cannot have access to a lot of information, a lot of educational opportunities because one, they lack internet access, two, they do not have an idea of what digital literacy opportunity for them to even digitally literate. It bridges that gap. It creates equity and access. Enroll into a master degree program in the United States. And I don't need to be in the United States to do that because of digital literacy. I know that there is Coursera aid my learning. So let's look at the digital literacy and global perspectives. Now, what is the global perspective of digital literacy? internet access. What is 2%? Only 63% of the world has in lower income regions. How about digital literacy gap? In developing countries, nearly 50% of the youth UNICEF. Internet access in Africa. Only 35% of people in sub-Saharan Africa lighting infrastructure. Only 35% in sub-Saharan Africa and the inequality 65%. What are they going to do is they are just lost. Why in Nigeria, Nigeria's digital landscape are mobile. Hello, can you still hear me? Driving me crazy right now. I'm sorry, I'm going to be very quick so we can move faster since the network is really preventing me from. All right, let's look at some case studies in Africa. Please, can you indicate if you can hear me? I'm really having a terrible network glitch here. Can someone indicate if you can hear me? Some countries that are already trying to implement digital literacy or trying to bring digital literacy into their educational system or to drive change with digital literacy. Now, the Rwanda's Digital Ambassadors Program, over 3 million Rwandans were trained. What did they do? They improved access. How about Kenya? The Kenya Digital Literacy Program, curricular. These are the things that we want. These are things that can aid education through digital literacy. Because when literate, it creates social capital, it creates economic growth for the country and the community. Albert Sartori, Africa, leading to improved employability, literacy in education. Digital literacy. Thank you so much, Angelica. Thank you so much. We will connect after this call, after this presentation. One of the key pillars for integrating digital literacy in education is policy and funding. There should be investment in technology infrastructure and teacher training. Most especially the developing countries. We need to see a system where technology and infrastructures in some countries, in schools. One of those days I visited one school in my local community and they told me that they're not teaching computer. And I was so crazy at this point in time in the 21st century where digital literacy is rampant, where the society is evolving and everything is going into digital, and you're not teaching your students computer, influence policies so that they can technology and infrastructure and teacher training. Number two, curriculum development. We have to integrate digital literacy across subjects, not just as a standalone courses. This has to be done from day one. The moment a child entered the school, learn some basic, begin to know how some tools are being used and are being operated. For instance, an available research and data suggests that there is a yawning digital skills gap between poorer and richer countries. To address this effort early on in schools where digital skills. All right, teacher training is also important, and community partnership. We have to foster partnership among stakeholders, among communities, among government, among CSOs, among companies, for us to foster, digital literacy in education. And what are the challenges in implementing? Number one, infrastructural gaps. There are a lot of gaps in infrastructure. Like I mentioned the reports. A lot of people, a lot of countries do not have internet access, and it's a very big challenge. Okay, so we're already behind time at this point. So I'm going to share this slide with us, and I just hope that we'll be able to go through, and we have another time to discuss on this. So finally, let me just go straight to my conclusion. So digital literacy is essential for preparing students for a tech-driven future and bridging educational gaps, especially in undeserved regions. Countries like Rwanda, Kenya, South Africa has shown the power of strategic policies and partnerships in achieving this. So, by prioritizing digital skills in education, we can foster equitable learning and drive global development as we collaborate together to build an inclusive, innovative future for all learners. Thank you so much, and you can link up with me on LinkedIn, Dumbari Zabbey. Do have a wonderful afternoon.